A new aircraft is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. You heard me right, a new aircraft. It's an airliner, and most importantly, by the sounds of it, it could potentially be free. Get ready for it, put your seatbelts on, tray table stowed. Let's get right into this Microsoft Flight Simulator news. Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to another video. Now, another Microsoft Flight Simulator development live stream gave us loads of golden nuggets of information for me to explain to you guys. The main bit of news was, of course, that there is a new aircraft coming to the sim. We'll be getting into that in a minute. But before we do that, be sure to like, comment and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator news. But now, let's hop into this video. Okay, so first of all, the most exciting part from the live stream or from the video was the announcement of the ATR 42600/72600. Now, following the success of the Aerosoft CRJ, the Asobo team will be working with Aerosoft or Hans Hartmann to create a new aircraft for the sim that I imagine will be free. Now, Hans is one of the key developers for Aerosoft. He worked on the CRJ and that was amazing, and he also previously worked on the Flight 1 ATR. Well, now we've got an ATR coming to the sim. The ATR 42 or 72 is of course a propeller aircraft, so it's not a jet, it's a whole new thing to learn. But this was the prediction I was going to make, either this aircraft or the Dash 8 Q400. And I have to say, from what we're seeing so far, it is looking magnificent. It's going to be perfect to do some hops from the new Nice handcrafted airport. That is something to really look forward to. Now, they don't offer any timeline for this aircraft being released. I imagine it will come with a sim update. And there is more on the news about sim updates in a minute, but let's just finish working on the ATR. Now, they do give us a year, but they don't give us an exact date, as I said, and whilst the previews are looking amazing, it is worth noting that this project won't be ready until at least 2022. Now, I hope this aircraft is released for the sim as a free package, but of course it might not be. Aerosoft might charge like they charge for the CRJ, but the way they're talking about it and the fact it was on a development live stream does point more to the fact that it may be included as a free aircraft, but that is me speculating. Now, they say they are working with ATR, the company, to develop a highly complex aircraft. This to me would point over to it not being freeware, but hey, we can always hope. This would fill in a gap in the simulator, so I mean, there's both sides here, whether it could be freeware or payware and included in the default sim. In addition to that, we've got some news about World Update 5, which will be the Nordic area, including Denmark, Iceland, Norway, Sweden and Finland, which is once again a massive area. Now, we've got 5 new airports in the development. We've got Bornholm Airport in Denmark, Echo Kilo Romeo November, Sandski Airport in Iceland, Svalbard Airport in Norway, which is that very northern island, Stockholm Arlanda Airport in Sweden, and Vasa Airport in Finland. That is a wide array of very unique airports, and some of these are major international airports, some of them more unique, so that is something to very much look forward to. As always, we'll see photogrammetry cities, although they offer no hints there, but we do get some hints of points of interest. We get a nice collection of screenshots, including Men at Sea in Denmark and the Turning Torso in Sweden. Moving on with updates, Sim Update 4 will bring further optimizations for the sim. Glass cockpit updates will see improvements. Furthermore, we'll see improvements to the way in which air traffic is implemented into the sim. Hopefully, this means we'll get real world liveries, as they have pointed at that with the S7 and KLM livery release with World Update 4. In addition to that, Sim Update 4 will also bring in a weather radar to the mix, and that's something to very much look forward to, as well as plenty of other new effects and of course optimization fixes. So the question for me is, will this ATR be released by Aerosoft for free, included in the default sim, seeing as Asobo are working very closely with them, or will it be payware? Well, I do think it's going to be payware, but there's always that little bit of hope with me that it might be released as a default aircraft. You never know. Also guys, if you haven't downloaded the France and Benelux World Update, it is really good, I highly recommend it. Now moving over to freeware aircraft, I'm going to talk about one in this video. It's the A220 by tap designs, and we've started getting some systems in place. Now on screen now we've got the video, and you can see this is starting to look like A220 systems. Now, it's nowhere near finished, they're not saying it is. This is their second system development update, but it's nice to see them getting on track with developing these systems. This is, of course, one of the most fundamental bits of creating an aircraft, so the work they're doing here is not only amazing in its own right, it's also very promising. Now, before this, I watched a real-world video of the A220 cockpit, and I have to say, these systems you can recognise they're from the A220. Of course, you've got that split primary float display with 2/3 of the screen being operated by the PFD and the bottom half being used for a small navigation display or compass rose. There's a whole 9-minute video on YouTube if you want to go watch it, as well as joining their Discord. I highly recommend you do that. Finally, a little announcement, and now this may not go anywhere, it's a very early project, but Q4XL are developing a Q400 for the sim. Now this is another early work in progress freeware development project, so it might not take off or get off the ground. They started very early on modelling. I thought I'd bring your attention to it, as well as put their Discord link in the description to, of course, notify you to this potential aircraft. As always with all of these, it may not get off the ground, but there's always that hope. So there we have it, guys. It has to be said, this was a video of hope. I really do hope that the ATR will become a default aircraft included in the sim for free, but I am worried that's wishful thinking. As Aerosoft are aiming for a study level aircraft, that may not happen, but because of the close collaboration with Asobo and the fact it was on the development live stream, I can always hold that hope in my heart. There's also some news on the upcoming sim updates and, of course, all of those freeware aircraft. It's honestly amazing, it blows me away every time, but there is the video. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you to all my business class and first class channel members. The first class channel members get a shout out on the screen now. Be sure to hit that sub button if you haven't done already to stay up to date with the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator news and real world aviation content. But from me today, that is all. Bye bye.